130/90? That's what my machine says. Is that good or bad? Sound familiar? Every day, millions of older adults, just like you, stare at their blood pressure monitor, confused. Two numbers flash on the screen, one on top, one below. And, somehow, you're supposed to know what they mean. Which one should you worry about more? Is it the top number, the systolic, or the bottom number, the diastolic? Some doctors say the top number is more important as you age. Others say if the bottom number drops too low, it could starve your brain of blood. So who's right? Here's the scary part. Choosing the wrong number to ignore could lead to a stroke, kidney damage, or even sudden collapse. And most people don't find out until it's too late. But stay with me, because in just a minute, you're going to learn. Which blood pressure reading matters most after age 60? When both numbers become dangerous, even if they look normal. And how one of these numbers might be silently hurting your heart or brain right now. By the end of this video, you'll never look at your blood pressure the same way again. You've been watching the numbers, but have you been watching the right one?
Let's be honest. Blood pressure readings can feel like code language. You get a number like 138/72, and the machine says normal. But what does that really mean? And then come the questions. Should I be worried if my top number is high but the bottom one's okay? My diastolic is low, but I feel fine. Is that dangerous? Is 140/80 too high for my age, or is that still okay? It's confusing, and for good reason. Even many healthcare providers don't always take the time to explain it clearly. Some patients get told to just keep an eye on it. Others are given medication based on a single number, without understanding what it does or why it matters. And that's a problem. Here's why. Systolic pressure, the top number, measures how much pressure your blood is under when your heart beats. Diastolic pressure, the bottom number, measures the pressure when your heart rests between beats. They're both important, but not always equally important. Most people over 60 focus on just one number, usually the top one. But if you ignore the other, or don't understand how the two work together, you could be making decisions that put your heart, brain, or kidneys at risk. It's like judging a storm by the lightning, but forgetting about the rising floodwaters. The truth is, both numbers tell a story. But if you misread the story, or skip a page, it could lead to disaster. In the next section, I'll show you exactly how that happens and why so many people don't realize the danger until it's far too late. Imagine this. You're at home. You feel okay, maybe a little tired, maybe a little lightheaded, but nothing dramatic. You check your blood pressure, 128/54. You smile. The top number looks normal, right? But here's what you didn't see coming. That bottom number, 54, is dangerously low. For someone over 60, that can mean not enough blood is reaching your brain between heartbeats. You stand up, and suddenly the room spins. You fall. You hit your head. And just like that, your normal blood pressure almost killed you. This happens more often than you think. And on the flip side, someone else might see a reading like 142/80 and panic. Isn't that high? Am I having a heart attack? They call 911, get rushed to the ER, only to be told, "You're fine, just a little stressed." But the real problem isn't panic or confusion. The problem is this. People are making life-altering decisions based on half the information. Some start medications they don't need just because one number looks off. Others avoid treatment altogether because they feel fine, unaware that damage is happening in silence. High systolic pressure can slowly wear down your arteries, putting you at risk for heart attacks and strokes. But too low diastolic pressure can leave your brain starved of oxygen, especially dangerous for seniors who already face higher risk of falls, confusion, and memory loss. And when both numbers start pulling in opposite directions, one high, one low, that's a red flag. It's like trying to drive with one foot on the gas and the other on the brake. Eventually, something gives out. Now ask yourself, when was the last time you looked at both numbers and actually understood them? Are you sure you're not missing a silent warning sign right there on your blood pressure monitor? Stick around because next, I'll share a real-life story that shows just how quickly things can go wrong, even when your blood pressure seems fine.
Let me tell you about Eleanor, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Ohio. She was healthy, ate her vegetables, took walks around the neighborhood. Every morning, like clockwork, she'd check her blood pressure. One day her monitor read 118/58. She smiled. Nice and low, she thought. Just how the doctor wants it. She even bragged to her friends at church, "My numbers are better than my granddaughter's." But here's what no one noticed. That diastolic number 58 was creeping lower and lower. She had recently started a new blood pressure medication, and while it brought the top number down beautifully, it quietly pushed the bottom number too low. At first, it was just a little dizziness when standing. Then came the fogginess, the trouble remembering names, and one morning Eleanor had a mini stroke, a TIA, the doctors called it. Thankfully, she survived. But her life changed. Speech therapy, follow-ups, a fear of being alone, all from a number that looked safe on the screen. And here's the heartbreaking part. No one warned her that a diastolic below 60, especially in someone her age, could be dangerous. No one said, "Hey, let's make sure your brain is still getting the oxygen it needs between heartbeats." Eleanor's story is not rare, it's just rarely told. We celebrate low blood pressure until it's too low to protect us. In just a moment, I'll break down what those two numbers actually mean, in simple, clear language. Because understanding them could save your brain, your heart, and maybe even your life. Okay, let's break it down, plain and simple. When you check your blood pressure, you get two numbers. Let's say it reads 132/78. The top number, 132, is called your systolic pressure. The bottom number, 78, is your diastolic pressure. But what do they mean? Systolic pressure. This measures the force of blood pushing against your arteries when your heart beats, when it's pumping. Think of it like a wave crashing onto the shore. It's the power surge every time your heart squeezes. If that surge is too strong, over time, it can weaken artery walls, damage organs, and increase the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and aneurysms. Diastolic pressure. This measures the pressure when your heart rests between beats. That resting phase is when your heart fills with blood again. You can think of it like the space between waves, calm, steady pressure keeping things flowing. If that number drops too low, your brain and other organs may not get enough oxygen-rich blood between heartbeats. That's why both numbers matter. If systolic is the storm, diastolic is the tide. You need both in balance. Too much or too little of either can sink the ship. Now here's the key. As we age, these two numbers don't always move together. In fact, they can pull in opposite directions. And that's where the real danger begins. Coming up next, we'll zoom in on systolic pressure, the one most doctors focus on, and why it becomes a bigger threat after age 60. As we grow older, one number tends to rise quietly, even if we feel perfectly fine. That number is the systolic pressure, the top number on your blood pressure reading. You might think, mine's just 138, not a big deal, right? But here's what most people don't realize. After age 60, your arteries naturally stiffen. It's like an old garden hose.
It used to be flexible, but now it doesn't stretch like it used to. When your heart pumps, that stiff hose pushes back, and the pressure builds up. That's your systolic pressure going up, even if your diastolic stays the same or drops. This is what doctors call isolated systolic hypertension, and it's the most common form of high blood pressure in older adults. Why does this matter? Because high systolic pressure is strongly linked to heart attacks, strokes, heart failure, kidney disease, vision loss. And the danger is silent. No pain, no warning signs, no symptoms. Just years of invisible pressure damaging your blood vessels until something breaks. According to the SPRINT study, a major government-funded trial, people over 60 who lowered their systolic pressure below 120 had a 25% lower risk of heart-related death. That's massive. But here's the twist. When you lower a systolic too aggressively without watching the diastolic, you can create new risks, especially for your brain. It's like lowering the ceiling in your house, but accidentally crushing the floor beneath you. So yes, systolic pressure matters deeply, especially after 60. But it's not the only number that matters. Next, we'll talk about diastolic pressure, the number most people ignore, and why it might be even more dangerous when it gets too low. We've spent time talking about systolic pressure, and for good reason. It's the top number, and often the first to rise as we age. But now let's focus on the number most people ignore, diastolic pressure, the bottom number. At first glance, lower sounds better, right? That's what we're taught. Lower blood pressure is healthier. But here's the truth, especially for older adults. If your diastolic pressure drops too low, below 60, it can actually become dangerous. Why? Because diastolic pressure keeps blood flowing to your organs when your heart is resting between beats. That includes your brain, your kidneys, and even your heart muscle itself. When that pressure drops too far, your brain doesn't get enough oxygen. You may feel dizzy, lightheaded, or confused. Your risk of falls, fainting, and mini-strokes increases. And if you're already on medications that lower blood pressure, like diuretics, ACE inhibitors, or beta blockers, your diastolic number can dip without warning. It's even more serious in people with artery plaque or narrowed vessels, where a steady flow between beats is critical. Think of diastolic pressure like the tide between waves. If the tide disappears, the boats, your organs, run aground. Quick check. If your blood pressure is something like 120/58 or 115/55, and you're feeling off, dizzy, foggy, or unsteady, that bottom number may be too low for you, especially if you're over 60. A diastolic under 60 should be discussed with your doctor. Because while high systolic pressure breaks the walls, low diastolic pressure starves the brain. Coming up next, we'll compare both numbers side by side, and I'll show you exactly when each one becomes the bigger threat, and when both matter equally. So now we've arrived at the big question: which blood pressure number is more important, the top or the bottom? And the answer is, it depends. Let me explain. Systolic pressure, the top number. This becomes more important after age 60 because heaven's more likely to rise with age. Heaven's linked to heart attacks, strokes, and kidney damage. Studies show controlling systolic saves lives in seniors. If your systolic is over 130 consistently, it's a warning sign, even if your bottom number looks fine. Diastolic pressure, the bottom number. This becomes more important when it drops too low, especially in older adults. Below 60, it may reduce blood flow to the brain. It risks of falls, confusion, and cognitive decline. A dangerous when combined with overmedication. If your diastolic is below 60, especially with symptoms like dizziness or fatigue, it's not great news. It's a red flag. So, which one wins? Let's keep it simple. From your over 60 and your blood pressure is high, watch your systolic. From your diastolic is too low, under 60, don't ignore it. Both are off, you may need to adjust your treatment plan. Because the most dangerous blood pressure pattern in older adults is high systolic, low diastolic. This creates a large pulse pressure, which has been linked to artery damage and cognitive decline. Think of it like the pressure in a water pipe. If the bursts are too strong, systolic, and the rest periods are too weak, diastolic, the system eventually breaks down. That's why you need to look at both numbers together, not in isolation. But how do you do that at home, and when should you take action? Coming up next, I'll show you how to read your blood pressure the right way, and what steps to take if the numbers don't look ideal. Now that you understand what systolic and diastolic pressure actually mean, let's talk about something just as important: how to measure your blood pressure correctly at home. Because the truth is, even the most advanced blood pressure monitor won't help you if you're using it the wrong way. Many people unknowingly make simple mistakes that can give false readings, leading to unnecessary worry or even wrong medication adjustments. So here's how to do it right. Start by sitting down in a quiet space. Rest for at least 5 minutes before you begin. No talking, no distractions, no rushing. Let your body settle into a calm state. Blood pressure can spike from even small movements or emotional stress. Make sure you're seated properly, back straight, supported by a chair. Your feet should be flat on the floor, not crossed. Place your arm on a table so it's level with your heart. Don't hold it up in the air or let it dangle. Avoid measuring after drinking coffee, smoking, or exercising. These can cause temporary spikes. It's best to wait at least 30 minutes after any of those. Also avoid testing right after a heavy meal or when you're feeling anxious. When you're ready, take 2 or 3 readings, 1 minute apart, and write them down. Don't rely on just one number. Blood pressure fluctuates. The average tells the true story. Most importantly, don't just glance at the top number and ignore the bottom one. Both numbers matter. Always. Keep a logbook with the date, time, your readings, and any symptoms you felt, like dizziness, tiredness, or headaches. This record becomes incredibly helpful when speaking with your doctor. You don't need a medical degree to understand your blood pressure. You just need a few simple habits and the confidence to pay attention. In the next section, we'll talk about natural lifestyle changes, the kind of daily steps that can gently guide both your systolic and diastolic numbers toward a safer, healthier range. Here's the best news. Improving your blood pressure doesn't always mean taking more pills. In fact, some of the most effective changes happen right at home, through small daily choices, especially for those over 60. Let's start with what you eat. One of the most powerful nutrients for blood pressure is potassium. It helps relax your artery walls, balance out excess sodium, and lower systolic pressure naturally. And you don't need fancy supplements. Just add more potassium-rich foods to your plate: avocados, leafy greens, bananas, sweet potatoes, white beans. Next, move your body regularly but gently. You don't have to join a gym. Just a 20 to 30-minute walk each day, some light stretching, or even chair exercises can lower both systolic and diastolic pressure. Movement improves circulation, reduces stress hormones, and strengthens your heart over time. Speaking of circulation, Did you know that dehydration can actually cause your diastolic pressure to drop too low? Especially in older adults. So make sure you're drinking enough water. Ideally 6 to 8 cups a day, unless your doctor says otherwise. Another powerful but overlooked tool, deep breathing. Even 5 minutes a day of slow, controlled breathing, like the 4-7-8 method, can calm your nervous system and gently reduce blood pressure. Try this before bed or when you feel anxious. It works. And of course, don't forget sleep. Poor sleep, or conditions like sleep apnea, are strongly linked to high systolic pressure. If you snore, wake up tired, or feel drowsy during the day, talk to your doctor. Getting better rest may do more for your heart than you realize. These changes won't bring results overnight, but done consistently, they will help your body rebalance from the inside out. Because blood pressure isn't just about numbers, it's about how you live, breathe, move, rest, and take care of yourself every day. In the final part, we'll pull it all together and leave you with one clear takeaway to protect your heart, your brain, and your independence. So now you know both blood pressure numbers matter. But more importantly, you matter. Your heart has been beating faithfully for decades. Let's not ignore what it's trying to tell you. Because whether your systolic is creeping up or your diastolic is quietly slipping too low, your numbers are just signals, asking for care, not fear. You don't need to be a doctor to understand them. You just need to stay curious, stay consistent, and take action. Talk to your doctor, track your readings, eat real food, breathe deeper, walk a little more, and most of all, don't settle for normal when your body is asking for better. If this video helped you understand your blood pressure better, leave a comment, share it with someone you love, and subscribe to Senior Health Guide, because your health journey deserves guidance you can trust.